So before coming to our today's topic, let's have a quick recap that what we have learned yesterday. Yesterday, we have discussed about introduction of matter, that what is matter and what are some examples of matter, how the matter is made up of, what are the properties of the particles of a matter, right? So today we have also learned about the 5 states of matter, that is solid, liquid, gas, plasma and BEC, that is Bose-Einstein condensate. So today we are going to read about these states of matter one by one. Okay, so let's start with the properties of solids. You can imagine any solid thing around you. When I will talk about these properties, you just imagine that thing. Okay, so uh, you can see in the diagram, these are the particles of solids. We know that solids have fixed shape and volume. Imagine your geometry box, that is a solid. It itself can't change its shape and its volume is also fixed. Either you put on the table, you just put on the floor, you just put it anywhere, its volume is fixed and its shape is also fixed. So we can say that solids have fixed shape and volume. Solids itself can't change its shape until you apply an external force on it. Yes, you can change the shape of your geometry box if you will apply a force with the help of an hammer, Itself, it can't change its shape. Next is the intermolecular space between the particles of solid is least. You can see in the diagram that particles are tightly bound to each other and there is least intermolecular space between the particles. So we can say that particles are tightly bound and there is no or very least intermolecular space between the particles. Next is solids are incompressible. Just try to compress any solid thing. Can you compress it? Just try to compress the table or your geometry box. Can you compress it if it is a hard solid? No, because when you apply the force, particles do not get the intermolecular space to move. So they have not sufficient space between them to come close. That's why we can't compress the solids. Next is solids have high density. Okay, so before coming to this topic, we must know that what do you mean by the density. Density means the mass per unit volume of a substance is called density. The mass per unit volume. What do you mean by this term? Simply we can say that if we will take a particular volume of any solid, right, and we will calculate its mass, then that mass is called its density. If we will take the unit volume means if we will take 1 meter cube volume, then whatever its mass will be its density. Or in simple words, we can say that density means how closely the particles are arranged, right? So density is equals to mass upon volume. We can write it the formula that D is equals to M upon V. D is density, M is mass and V is the volume. Okay, we will also discuss about the unit of density. We know that the unit of mass is kg. You measure mass in kg and volume in meter cube. So we can say that the density of any object or any matter we will take, its unit will be kilogram per meter cube. Next is intermolecular force of attraction are strongest. It means the particles in solid are tightly bound. The attraction force between the particles is highest in solids. Next is solids generally can't diffuse into solids because the kinetic energy of particles of solid is very less. So they do not have the property of diffusion. We just clear one thing over here. Solid can't diffuse in solids, but solids can be diffused in liquid or gases. If you will take sugar, that is a solid, you can diffuse this sugar into water. But if you will put sugar and salt together, dry, they can't diffuse in each other. You just put your pencil on your geometry box, leave them for 10, 50, 100 days. Do they intermix in each other? No. So we can say that solids generally can't diffuse in solids. In rare cases, if two metals are put on each other for a long time, like for 2-3 years, some particles may diffuse in each other. But generally the solids do not have the property of diffusion. Here we are going to take some examples of solid. Like all the things around you, generally wood, all the metals except one metal, that is mercury. Mercury is liquid at room temperature. All the metals are solid. Your books, plastic objects, all the things around you, these are solids, right? Now let's have a view of properties of liquids. For this you can imagine any liquid at your home, like you imagine water, you can imagine milk. Okay, so let's start. Liquids have fixed volume, but they do not have fixed shape. What does it mean? Suppose if you will take 1 liter of water, its volume is 1 liter. First you try to pour this water in a plate, second time in a bowl, and third time in a glass. The liquid or water will take the shape of the container. It means its shape can change, but it will remain 1 liter, or it cover the volume of 1 liter only. It means liquids have fixed shape, liquids have fixed volume, but they do not have fixed shape. They just take the shape of the container. Next is intermolecular distance are larger in solids than, in liquids than solids. Means the particles of liquid are not as tightly bound as the particles of solid. So we can say the particles have some intermolecular distance between them. Next is all the liquids are mostly incompressible. Just like solids, we can't compress the liquids because they also have very less intermolecular space. So when we apply force to compress them, they do not get sufficient space to move. Hence, we can't compress the liquids. And if we will try, we can compress them a little bit, right? Next is liquids have density lower than solids but higher than gases. Higher than gases. Let's correct it. So we can say that liquids have low density than solids means, to understand this concept better, imagine three container or of exactly same volume, right? In first container, you just fill any solid. In second, you fill the liquid. And in third, you just fill any gas or cap it empty. Empty means it is containing air. Now measure the mass of these three boxes. Their volume is exactly same. So what we will see, that the container which contains solid will have more mass. It means its density is high. Then the container which contain liquid have less mass than the first container. It means its density is lower than the solid. And the third container have the least mass. It means the density of gases is lowest, right? Next is the intermolecular force of attraction are weak than solid. Means the particles are not as tightly bound in liquid as in solids. They are loosely packed. Next is liquids have the property of diffusion. Liquids have the property of diffusion. To understand this concept, what you can do, you just take water in a glass, and second glass you just take milk and try to mix them. Are you able to mix them? The particles of milk diffuse into the particles of water. Means liquids have the property of intermixing. And this property of intermixing is known as diffusion. So we can say that liquids have the property of diffusion because their particles have some kinetic energy and they can easily diffuse. Some examples of liquids around you are water, milk, oil, alcohol, etc. All these are the examples of liquids. Next is the properties of gases. As you can see in the diagram, that particles are apart from each other, right? So we can say that gases neither have fixed shape nor have fixed volume. Gases do not have any shape, any volume. Means whatever container you are taking, they spread completely in that volume and they always take the shape of that container. It means their volume and shape both are not fixed. Next, intermolecular distance between the particles of gases are largest, right? But because there is sufficient intermolecular space between the particles, so we can compress the gases. And the best example is our LPG cylinders at home. In that, the gases are filled by applying high pressure. So we can say that we can compress the gases because they have sufficient intermolecular space between the particles. So when we apply force, the particles get the space to move on and the particles come closer and they can be compressed. Gases have least density. It means the particles are not tightly bound. So the mass of a particular volume will be low. Next is intermolecular force of attraction are weakest. It means you can see in the diagram that particles are apart from each other. Distance between the particles is more. So attraction between the particles will be less, and they are not tightly packed. They are loosely bound. They are apart from each other. And gases have the great property of diffusion. Gases can diffuse easily in each other. Gases can also diffuse in solids. Gases can also diffuse in liquid. And the best example is air around you, because air is a mixture of different gases. Different gases are intermixed in each other. So some other examples are oxygen, nitrogen, helium, hydrogen. There are different kind of gases, right? Okay. To show the compressibility in solid, liquids and gases, let's perform one small activity that is given in your NCERT book. Okay, take 300 ml syringe. Do you know what is syringe? Have you ever seen the syringe? Because all of you are mute, so I can't hear your answer. So take 300 ml syringe and close their nozzle with the help of a rubber cork. You can see in this diagram that you have taken a syringe. You just close the mouth of the syringe with the help of a rubber cork. This is a syringe, and the part, this movable part of a syringe is known as piston, right? So we will take 3 such type of syringe. In first, we just keep that syringe empty. Empty means it contain only air. In second syringe, we will fill any liquid. So let's take water in second syringe. And in third syringe, we just fill any solid. You can take soil, you can take some chalk powder or any solid that you want. Now, try to compress the piston in given 3 syringe. You just apply force on the piston. Try this experiment with all 3 syringe. What do you observe? In which case was the piston easily pushed in? And what will be your observation? So we will see that the syringe which contain air, that can be pushed easily because the air particles have sufficient intermolecular space. So when we apply force on the piston, the particles get sufficient space and they will come close to each other. It means we can say that we can compress the gases very easily. Second, when we press the piston of syringe B, which contain liquid, we can compress it a little bit because liquid particles have very less intermolecular space. Or simply we can say that we can't compress it. And in third syringe, which contains solid, we are unable to compress it. So this activity shows that gas can be easily compressed and liquid and solids cannot be compressed, or they are incompressible. Now we have read about the properties of solid, liquid and gases. Now we can easily compare their properties. So in this table, we will take a view between the difference between their properties. Solids have definite shape. Their shape is fixed. Liquids do not have definite shape. They just take the shape of the container. Gases also do not have any shape. Solids have fixed volume. Liquids volume is also fixed. But gases do not have fixed volume. Suppose if you are having 100 ml of a gas, just put this gas in a 100 ml volume container, then 200 volume, then 300 volume container. This gas will cover equal space, spread in complete container. It means its volume is not fixed. Now, in solids, the particles have strong intermolecular force. But in liquids, the force of attraction is in between solids and gases. And gases have negligible force of attraction between the particles. Because particles of solids do not have intermolecular space, so we can't compress them. In the same way, we can compress a liquid very little, and we can compress the gases easily. The kinetic energy of particles is minimum in solids. Liquids have intermediate kinetic energy of particles than solids and gases. Kinetic energy of particles is maximum in gases. Now, yesterday we have discussed that the particles of solids can only vibrate when we apply force on them, right? Means they are present in a fixed position, but the particles of liquids can move over each other, and particles of gases are free to move. Solids have high density. High density means the particles are tightly packed. Liquids have the density lower than solids but higher than gases. Gases have the lowest density, means the particles are apart from each other. Solids can't flow, liquids can flow, and gases can flow very easily. So, these are some difference between the properties of solid, liquid, and gases. So, what we have learned today, we have discussed about the states of matter. We have read about the properties of solids, properties of liquids, and properties of gases. We have also compared between the properties of solid, liquid, and gases. Now there are two homework questions for you.